a machine over 2,000 years old, with gears capable of tracking planets and predicting eclipses. Ancient pyramids aligned almost perfectly with true north, and possibly even the stars themselves. Massive stone structures carved with precision that still confuses modern engineers. And civilizations that understood astronomy centuries before telescopes even existed. That should not make sense. Welcome to MindLoom Studios. And today, we're exploring ancient technologies that humanity still cannot fully explain. Because the deeper researchers investigate the ancient world, the stranger history begins to look. And maybe the greatest mystery is not how these technologies were built, but what else humanity has forgotten. The Antikythera Mechanism, the machine that should not exist. In 1901, divers exploring a shipwreck near a small Greek island found what looked like a useless lump of corroded bronze. At first, nobody paid much attention to it, but hidden inside that broken piece of metal were gears. Dozens of them, tiny, intricate, perfectly engineered gears. And that was a problem. Because this object was over 2,000 years old, technology this complex was not supposed to exist back then. Then, researchers discovered what the machine actually did. It tracked the movement of planets, predicted eclipses, mapped astronomical cycles with astonishing precision. This thing was basically a computer. Today, it is known as the Antikythera Mechanism. And even now, scientists still debate how ancient engineers were capable of building something so advanced. Because here is the unsettling part. Nothing else remotely like it existed for over 1,000 years afterward. It is almost as if this technology appeared and then vanished. And that raises a disturbing possibility. What if humanity once possessed knowledge that was completely lost? Because this was only the beginning. Ancient electricity, the Baghdad Battery. In the 1930s, archaeologists near Baghdad uncovered a small clay jar. It did not look important, but inside the jar was something strange. A copper cylinder, an iron rod. When researchers later recreated the object and filled it with acidic liquid, it produced an electrical charge. Electricity. From a device that may be over 2,000 years old, the object became known as the Baghdad Battery, and nobody fully agrees on what it was actually used for. Some researchers believe it may have been used for electroplating, using electricity to coat metals in thin layers of gold or silver. Others think it may have served some ceremonial purpose instead, but no one knows for certain. And that uncertainty is what makes it fascinating. Because electricity feels modern, it feels industrial, like something connected to cities, machines, and technology, not ancient civilizations. And yet, somehow, they may have discovered it thousands of years ago. And then things got even stranger. Engineering beyond its time, the impossible precision of the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for over 4,500 years, and we still cannot fully explain how it was built. Some of the stones weigh more than 70 tons. The structure is aligned almost perfectly with true north, with an error of only a fraction of a degree. Even more strangely, the pyramid's proportions appear to mirror the scale of Earth itself. If you take the pyramid's original height and compare it to the distance around the Earth, the ratio is astonishingly close. Coincidence? Maybe. But then researchers noticed something else. The three pyramids of Giza appear to align with the three stars of Orion's belt, a constellation deeply connected to Egyptian mythology and the afterlife. Some researchers believe the pyramids were intentionally positioned to mirror the stars above them. And whether or not that theory is true, the precision involved is difficult to ignore. Then there are the cuts between the stones themselves. Some are so precise, you cannot fit a sheet of paper between them. That alone would be impressive. But beneath Egypt are discoveries that make the mystery even harder to explain. Hidden deep underground are enormous granite boxes carved with astonishing symmetry and precision. Granite is one of the hardest stones on Earth. Even modern engineers require advanced machinery to shape it accurately. Yet ancient civilizations somehow carved, transported, and positioned these massive objects thousands of years ago. How? No explanation fully answers every question. And the deeper experts study ancient engineering, the less primitive it begins to look. Because maybe these civilizations understood techniques we no longer do. And if that sounds impossible, this next discovery is even harder to explain. Technology humanity forgot, Roman concrete and lost knowledge. Modern concrete cracks over time, especially when exposed to seawater. Ancient Roman concrete does the opposite. It gets stronger. Some Roman harbors have survived nearly 2,000 years of waves and erosion. Modern scientists only recently discovered why. The Romans used volcanic ash in their mixture, triggering chemical reactions that reinforced the material over time. In other words, ancient engineers may have created a building material more durable than some modern versions. Think about that. Humanity may not always be progressing forward. Sometimes we may be rediscovering things that already existed. And history is filled with examples of knowledge disappearing. Civilizations collapse. Wars destroy records. Libraries burn. Entire generations of discovery vanish. The Library of Alexandria may have contained some of the greatest knowledge of the ancient world before it was destroyed. And once knowledge disappears, humanity often starts over. That is the uncomfortable reality of civilization. And it leads to a terrifying possibility. What if ancient humans knew far more than we realize? Ancient civilizations knew the sky too well. Astronomy before modern science. Long before telescopes existed, ancient civilizations were tracking the stars with astonishing accuracy. The Mayans created calendars capable of predicting astronomical cycles with incredible precision. Structures like Stonehenge and the pyramids align with celestial events so accurately, it almost feels beyond coincidence. At Stonehenge, the massive stones are positioned so that during the summer solstice, the sun rises perfectly through the center of the monument. Every year, on the longest day of the year, sunlight aligns almost exactly with the ancient structure. And during the winter solstice, the sunset aligns with it again in reverse. This was not random construction. It required careful observation of the sky over long periods of time, possibly generations. And Stonehenge is not alone. Across the world, ancient civilizations repeatedly built structures aligned with stars, solstices, and planetary movements. But how did ancient people develop this knowledge so precisely? How many generations of observation would it take? And what else did they understand? Because history has a strange pattern. Empires rise. Knowledge expands. Then suddenly, everything collapses. And what survives are fragments, ruins, artifacts, and mysteries we still cannot fully explain. The final question. What if humanity has forgotten more than we know? Now, this does not mean aliens built the pyramids. And it does not mean every mystery has some supernatural explanation. Many ancient achievements can absolutely be explained through human intelligence, engineering, and persistence. But honestly, that may be the most incredible explanation of all. Because it means ancient humans were capable of far more than we ever gave them credit for. And maybe history has underestimated them for centuries. But regardless of the explanation, these discoveries reveal something deeply unsettling. Human history may not be nearly as complete as we think it is. There are still gaps, still mysteries, still technologies we cannot fully explain. And somewhere beneath deserts, oceans, jungles, and ruins, there may still be discoveries waiting to completely rewrite our understanding of the past. Because maybe the greatest mystery is not whether ancient civilizations were advanced. Maybe the real mystery is how much humanity has forgotten. And if knowledge this incredible vanished before, what else disappeared with it?